It's time for the metal! And to celebrate the metal being brought out of DC with some of the coolest Batman designs that you've ever seen, we here at Comicstorian have come up with a Comicstorian metal t-shirt. Celebrate one of the most epic DC events with us by buying our limited edition shirt, which will be up there until I remember to take it down, because that's pretty much how our limited sales work. If you bought the Flash one, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It should be on the screen right now. If you do so, you'll be helping support us through these problems with YouTube, and in general, just getting yourself what I, not that I'm biased or anything, would think is an amazing shirt. Now it's time for us to cover Red Death. Red Death starts before the actual metal event. It actually starts showing us the origins of Red Death. Then the metal event happens, and we get to see what happens with Red Death here on Earth Zero. I hope you guys enjoy, cause it is so twisted. Stop me if you've heard this one. Worlds will live. Worlds will die. But imagine if your every fear, every bad decision gave birth to a malformed world of nightmares. A world that shouldn't exist, and desperate as it fights to survive in the world of the true multiverse far above. Welcome to the Dark Multiverse, home to the stories that never should be. It's all one big cosmic joke, except no one is laughing on this side. Well, almost no one. Listen close. Now this is a story of a world's end, a world transformed. Witness the rise of the Dark Knight. On Earth -52, the world is ending. Bodies are being pulled up into the dark red sky of death, and the Flash is running through it shouting, "It's getting worse. Central City is coming apart. We shouldn't be fighting!" This may make you wonder, who is the Flash talking to? A lightning bolt hits down in front of him, stopping him, and as he dodges it, the fire scorches the earth to his side, while ice hits the other side of him. He turns back to this person. "This is bigger than both of us. We have to do something before it's too late." And the person he's talking to is someone desperate. Batman. And he has each of the rogue's tools, the cold gun, the weather wizard wand, the heat gun, and the mirror gun, all at his side. As usual, you're late, Flash. It's time for you to let someone else have the Speed Force. Batman, I told you I won't give you the Speed Force. I've lost people I love too, but... Batman raises the cold glasses. Then you should understand. If you don't help me willingly, I'll make you. Flash begins to charge up his Speed Force. You know, the things I've done. The mistakes that I've made with these powers in the past. It's impossible to be everywhere at once. Batman looks back at him. Unlike you, I tried to be, and it cost me my family. And that's when we see a flashback of a graveyard of the Bat family dead. Flash runs up to him, so Batman leaps out of the way, going through a mirror with the Mirror Master gun to dodge him. Why do you think you're gonna succeed with the Rogue's weapons when they couldn't, Batman? And the Batmobile comes crashing through the wall. You're right. My toys are better. It didn't have to come to this, Flash. I asked for your help and you rejected me. If our roles were flipped, I would have used every tool at my disposal to get you what you needed. Metallic batarangs go flying through the air and the Flash dodges, telling him, I said no because your plans for the Speed Force are a dark path to run. I can see you hurting and desperate. Bullets begin to fly as the Flash continues to dodge. After my parents were murdered, I traveled the world to learn everything about science, martial arts, and the supernatural to become Batman, but it wasn't enough. Not for Jason, Tim, Dick, and Damian. Gotham did what it always does. It takes and takes and takes. I need to find a way to stay one step ahead. Batman gets out of the Batmobile, throwing a gas grenade at the ground, and with each day I feel myself getting older and slower. I need the Speed Force, Flash. Flash throws a lightning bolt into the gas, hitting Batman with all of it. He then stands over the fallen and defeated Batman. I'm sorry for what happened to your family. I am. But it won't end there. We have to figure out how to save everyone. Together. Batman tries to collect himself. You're right. You're a good friend, Flash. I could always count on you. And your compassion. He turns and freezes the Flash's leg in place, and then with one punch, he knocks him out. The Flash wakes up with his mask torn, asking, where am I? And then he realizes what Batman has done. He has chained the Flash to the front of the Batmobile, and he's driving at top speed as the Flash calls out, what are you doing? Batman explains, I studied your design for the cosmic treadmill, and I repurposed its engine to let me harness your connection to the Speed Force. I'm going to race into it and steal your connection. The Flash looks back, trying to turn his head with the chains holding him in place. Bruce, don't! The mistake I made when I vowed to my parents that I would save Gotham is that I was thinking too small, Barry. I should have promised to save the world. He hits the gas gas pedal to the floor and it roars as they begin to see the wall of the Speed Force breaking. Flash screams out, "You can't access the Speed Force this way! You can't force it! It's going to rip us both apart!" The lightning courses in front of them exploding and something twisted, something deranged begins to happen. "I know, Barry. No! I'm sorry. Please, Bruce! But now we can save the world. Bruce!" And their faces begin to tear apart as Bruce tells him, "Together." Flash looks back at him with nothing more than a skull. "You can't give up like this, Bruce. There's hope, Bruce. There's always." With that, they are both torn to pieces. Across Gotham City, every rogue in Batman's gallery is suddenly and quickly torn apart and killed, because no longer is there Batman. No longer is there Flash. There is something else. And as he kills every villain at a speed unheard of in Gotham, he tells himself, and himself, "My name is Bruce Wayne." But there's another voice in his head. "No, Bruce, don't kill! I'm vengeance. Stop this, Bruce! I am justice. Stop this, Bruce! Don't! I am Batman, Red Death. Please, Bruce, stop!" Before, I used to spend so much time alone on the rooftops, dwelling on my actions, but now I don't have to think twice about the Speed Force. It released me. I have saved Gotham, and now I will save the world. I finally have all of the time that I need. But the whole time, the voice in the back of his head, the voice of Barry Allen, is telling him to stop this. And regardless of saving Gotham, Batman finally sees the larger problem as Wayne Tower begins to fall at the end of the world. He looks up to see the sky is torn apart. The world is breaking apart, and I'm not fast enough to save it. But there's something deep down that hopes that I can do it, that I can save everyone. And another voice speaks, the one of the Batman who laughs. "Even if it means the destruction of another world, would you sacrifice others to save yours?" Barry pulls himself free of Bruce for a second. "Bruce, it's Barry, stay away from him, don't listen!" But Bruce shakes his head, pulling Barry back inside, reaffirming his connection to the Speed Force. "What? Who are you?" "Someone very much like you. Someone who lost his world simply because it was born down here. Our worlds aren't meant to last. They're destined to die. It's a cruel law of nature in this place. You can feel it yourself, can't you? Your time was meant to end. But what if I told you that there was a world far, far above that was destined to live?" Batman puts on his mask, asking, "Tell me more." Over on Earth Zero, the first world of the multiverse, the evil Batmen of the multiverse have now all arrived in issues 1 and 2 of Metal, which we have on the channel. You can watch it, I'll link it down below. Each of those Batmen has now run off to handle their own affairs, and in Central City, Iris and Wally are getting lunch when they see the red comets hitting the ground. Then glowing red bats appear around them, and Red Death stops in front of them. He looks at them. The Flash's family. The Barry Allen in his head tells him, "Don't hurt them." His love. His sidekick. "Iris, run!" Red Death walks over to her. "The last speedster to hurt my nephew ended up dead, so I don't care how scary your mask is. Leave him alone." Wally looks over at her, aging in front of her eyes. "There's something wrong with the Speed Force. I'm so slow." And then Iris gets hit as well, and they both begin to age rapidly. Around them, the city crumbles as they hold on to each other. This world's Flash will understand in times of crisis that there must be a sacrifice. And then the heroic voice of the Flash can be heard. "I don't know who you think you are, but there won't be any sacrifices in my city." Red Death begins to race down the city, and the Flash runs right behind him. "Running is sort of my thing, so there's no use in trying to escape. Once upon a time, I was jealous of yours and Clark's little races, but now it won't matter." Flash quickly sees that something is off as the glowing red bats swarm around him. "Your drift! Those bats!" He hits the ground in pain. "Everything hurts! I feel old." "There will be no more racing, Barry." That voice. "Bruce? Is this what happened after you left Black Hawk Island?" Red Death raises his fist into the air. "If there's any part of you inside of that armor, Bruce, then you're still my friend, and I can rely on your compassion." Red Death pauses. "What?" But behind Flash, the symbol of Dr. Fate appears, and he grabs and pulls Flash out of the fight. Red Death looks at the symbol. "Go ahead and run, Flash. It won't save you. I'm gonna turn your city into the one that I lost." The city begins to crumble and turn red and change. And as the Barry inside of Bruce shouts, "No!" Bruce tells him, "It will become my Gotham." So let me tell you a secret. All it takes is one bad day. One moment that should never have happened. The ground beneath you starts to crumble, and trust me, I know firsthand. All of us do. But one bad week, it can kill a multiverse. And there you have it. Red Death's origin and how he's completely removed Flash from the fight within seconds. You wouldn't think that that could possibly happen, but he did it. So far, he's my favorite design out of the DC Metal event. And if you want to celebrate how amazing this event is with us, then check out the shirt on the screen right now. The link will be right down below. Don't forget to check out the rest of the Metal event right here. Check out something else recommended by YouTube over here. And then subscribe to keep up with the Metal.